Hey everyone and welcome to the club. Today I'll be showing you how to draw Naruto, the Sage of Six Paths mode. Now I'm going to get started in the center of my page with the eyes. So let's get started on the left side with the upper eyelid. We're going to start on the outside, just curve down and then in. Now we're going to leave a gap in the center and do the same thing on the right side. So let's line up the inside, curving up and then out. On the inside, I just want to curve up the little frown line. So on the left side, we're just going to curve up and then in. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Now I'm going to tuck the eyes in underneath the eyelid. So it's a large half circle. Starting on the outside, we're going to step in, curve down towards the bottom, and then up towards the inside corner of the frown line. Let's do the same thing on the right. Now I'm going to add two large crosses in the inside for the pupil. So let's start on the left side here. We're going to leave a little space along the top. We're going to draw a slight curve going out towards the left and then down towards the bottom. Now we're going to go back to the top and curve out in the opposite direction down towards the bottom. We're going to fill that in black. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing on the right side. So stepping down from the eyelid, curving out and then back in. Then we'll curve in the opposite direction on the opposite side and fill that in black. Now we're going to go in the opposite direction. So on the left side here, we're going to curve up and then back down. Now we curve in the opposite direction, curving down and then back up, and we'll fill that in black. Let's go to the right side and do the same thing. In the center, we're going to step down and draw the nose. So we're going to start with a point in the middle. Now we're going to angle up and out towards the left. Go back to the center and go up and out towards the right. Now directly below the nose, we're going to locate the mouth. So we're going to start with a curve from left to right, coming down and then back up. Now I just want to overlap the ends by stepping up and curving the bottom part of the mouth. So on the left side, we're going to step up, curve across the line, down towards the bottom, and pull it up on the right. Now we're just going to add a teeth line. So right on the left side here, we curve down and in. We're going to leave some space in the center and do the same thing on the right side. Now on the ends, we're just going to draw a straight line and then fill the corners in black. Now directly below the mouth, just down here, we're going to draw another curve for the lower lip from left to right. Now let's move out and draw on the outside of the head. From the outside corner of the eyelid, we're going to step out, and we start here, we're going to curve down, and then just below the mouth. Now we're going to work our way back up towards the right side. And up just beside the eyelid on the right. We're going to add 3 whiskers on either side. So on the left side here, just against the side of the head, we're going to curve in and over. Now I just want to square off the end with a short straight line. Now I'm going to follow this back in towards the side of the head. Now let's go to the right side and do the same thing. We're going to start at the bottom of the eye, curving up and then out. Draw a short line coming down, and then follow that back towards the outside of the head. Now we're going to draw 2 more below here. So we're going to step down, leaving a little space. We're going to curve up and then in. Draw a short line coming down, and then back in towards the outside of the head. Go to the right side and do the same thing. Now we're going to draw 1 more at the bottom here. Now we're going to angle this up slightly towards the nose. So we're going to step down, just kind of angle it upwards. Draw a short line coming down, and then back out. Now let's move back up and draw on the lower edge of the headband. So from here, we're going to step out and just curve along the center and then back down on the right side. So over the line and then back over on the right side. Now from these ends, I just want to curve in behind the head for the sideburns. Now we're going to tuck the ears behind the sideburns. From the top corner, we're going to curve up and out, round out the ear, and then just pull that in towards the side of the head. And do the same thing on the right. And then right in the inside of the ear, we're just going to draw a curve for the inner ear, curving down in behind the sideburn. Now we're going to draw on the upper part of the eyebrow. So from the eyelid on the inside, we're going to step in along the frown line. Now we're going to taper this up and then out underneath the headband. Now if we have a little gap on the side of the eyebrow, we're going to draw a straight line going up underneath the headband. Now let's move up and draw on the headband. So I'm going to draw a little wrinkle on the side of the headband first. So in the corner, right where the ear meets the sideburn, we're going to curve up and then pull that in. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Now halfway down this curve, I'm going to curve out the outer part of the headband to the top and then back down on the right side. So let's start right here. I'm going to curve it out. I'm going to pull it up a little bit higher in the middle. So it goes higher in this space here. And we're going to bring this down on the right side and then tuck it in behind this curve. Now let's add the head protector. So this curve here, we're just going to step down, leaving a gap, and draw that same curve going across the middle. Now we're going to curve down the sides. On the left, we'll curve out and then down. We want to leave a little space along the bottom. Now we're going to connect these 2 points with the curve coming down. Then back up on the right side. We're going to add 3 rivets on either side, starting from the top corner. We'll add a circle, add 1 in the bottom, and then 1 right in between. Now let's move to the center and draw on the symbol. So on the right side, we're going to start with a swirl. It's almost like drawing a 6. We'll swirl this back around and then down. Now right at the top here, we're just going to angle up with a short line. Now along the bottom, I'm going to go straight across towards the left. Now we're going to angle this back up towards the side of the swirl. Now let's move up and draw on the hair spikes. So on either side of the head, we're going to start on the left side. We're going to draw a curve going out and then back in. Going out, and we're just going to pull that into right about there. We're going to do the same thing on the right. So let's line up the top, curving out, and then we're going to pull that back in. Now from here, we're going to draw the inside of the spike. From the top, I'm going to curve out. Now we're going to pull this in, leaving a little space along the bottom. Do the same thing on the right side. Now right in the space, we're going to add 3 spikes. So in the middle, we're going to step up, draw a starting point. From here, we're going to angle down and out towards the left. Go back to the top, angle down and out towards the right. Now I'm going to draw 2 shorter ones on either side. So on the left, we're going to go up and out. Now I'm going to pull this down in behind this curve, coming down. Now let's move to the outside. So on the left side, about halfway down this curve, I'm going to go up and out towards the left, and up and out towards the right. Now we're going to curve this all the way down towards the edge of the headband. Curving out and then back in. And then we'll draw 2 more spikes on either side. So halfway down this curve, go up with a slight angle going towards the left. On the right, we'll go slightly up towards the right. Now we're just going to pull this down. So tapering it down and in. Now we're going to come down with a slight angle. And then we'll tuck this in behind the headband, coming down in an angle, and tucking that in behind. On the left side of the head, we're going to draw the 2 ends of the headband. So right in here, right at the wrinkle line, we're going to curve down over the ear, go out, and then we'll just pull that down. Now let's want to draw a torn up edge on the left side. So we're going to curve up, so tapering up, and we're going to taper that back down. Now from here, I'm just going to draw a curve going up, and then pull that down. Now I'm going to curve and just taper this headband in behind the ear. So we're going to go up, and then pull that in. We draw 1 more just above here. So we're going to step up, curving up and out toward the left, and pull that down. Now from here, I'm just going to taper back in. We're going to taper out with a longer line. Now we're going to draw another curve. It's almost like a half oval, curving around. Now we're going to taper this back up in behind the headband. So going up and then pulling that in. Just below the ears on either side, we're gonna draw the hair tucked in behind the head. So let's start on the left earlobe. We start with a straight line coming down. Let's do the same thing on the right. Now we're gonna angle this back in. Let's do the same thing on the right. Now we're gonna come in with a longer line. And then we'll pull this up with an angle in behind the head. Okay, so we got the head, let's work our way down the body. I'm gonna start with the inside edge of the coat first. So let's leave a gap in the center, starting on the left, and curve out and down towards the bottom of the coat, to right about there. We step over towards the right side and curve out and down in the opposite direction. Up at the top, we're gonna draw on the inside edge of the collar. So on the left side, right up here, we're gonna curve up and out, just beside the edge of the hair. Do the same thing on the right side. Now I'm just going to angle up in behind the head with a straight line. Just underneath the collar, we'll draw on the outside of the jacket. So we step down, leaving a small little gap here, curve out, and then down a little bit higher than the inside line. Do the same thing on the right. So lining this up, curving out, and then down again, a little bit higher than the inside line. We're going to connect these with a slight curve, coming down and in. Now let's move back up and draw on the arms. I'm gonna have the arms holding two batons on either side. So let's start underneath the collar. Right up here, we're gonna curve down and then out towards the wrist. From here, we're gonna draw on the thumb. So let's start by curving up, curving down. Now we're gonna pull this back up towards the top of the curve, like that. Now we're gonna draw on the finger stacked in behind the thumb. So on the side here, we're gonna curve out and then in behind the thumb. Do that again. So at the bottom of this finger, we're gonna go out, round out the bottom, and then tuck it in behind the thumb. We'll do that one more time. Now we're gonna draw the baton in behind the fingers. So let's start at the top here. We're gonna draw a straight line from the top of the finger, going up to the top. Now we're gonna step over and draw that same line, just on top of the thumb. And we're gonna cap off the top with a slight curve. Now let's continue these lines in behind the fingers at the bottom. So on the outside, come down with a straight line, and then the inside. We'll just line this up, and then we'll close off the bottom with a curve. Now we want to draw on the bottom edge of the hand in behind the baton. So from the finger, we're gonna step down, curving up, and then in. Now before I draw on the bottom part of the arm, I want to draw on the sleeve. So from this point in the wrist, we're going to curve in and down. Now I'm going to curve in the opposite direction, curving down, pretty low down here. Now from here I'm going to curve up in behind the body. Let's take this wrist line, step in, curve in behind the cuff. Now from this point here, we're going to curve up in behind the hand in the opposite direction. Now let's take that arm and flip it over on the right side. So we're going to line up the top of the arm, curve down, and then out. Now we're going to start with the thumb. From here we're going to curve up to the top of the thumb, come down, round out the end, and then just pull that back up towards the top curve of the thumb. Now we're going to stack the fingers. On the side of the thumb here, we're going to go out and pull that back in. It's almost like a half oval. At the bottom of the finger, we're going to go around again. Now we're going to tuck this in behind the inside edge of the thumb. Now we're going to do that one more time. Curving around and then in. Let's draw the baton, same length on either side. So we'll start just above the thumb, go straight up, just lining up the top edge. Now we're going to step over and draw another straight line coming down towards the top of the finger. Just close off the top with a curve. Now we're going to extend these two lines underneath the fingers here, starting with the inside, coming down, and then same thing with the outside. And we'll close off the bottom with a curve. Now we're going to draw on the lower edge of the hand. From this finger, we're going to step down in behind the baton, curve up, and then in. Let's draw in the sleeve. So from the top corner of the wrist, we'll curve down and in. Now we're going to curve down towards the edge of the cuff, going all the way down. And then we're going to curve in the opposite direction, in behind the hand. Now right here, we're going to step down from the wrist line, curve in behind the cuff. Now from this corner of the sleeve, we're going to curve in behind the body, going up. Now before we draw on the legs, let's draw the symbols on the body. I'm going to start at the very top of the small symbol right here. We're going to start with a little tiny circle. Just below the circle, we're going to leave a little space, draw a straight line coming down. Now at the top of the line, I want to go around the circle and then back down to the bottom of that line. All the way down. Now you're just going to see the edge of the other symbols in behind the coat. So on the side here, we're just going to curve and round out towards the left. Curve and round out towards the right. In the center of the body right here, we're going to draw a large circle. Starting just below this symbol, we'll draw in a circle. I just want to trace this out on the inside, so drawing a slightly smaller circle on the inside. From the bottom edge of the circle, we're going to step down, locate the lower torso. We're going to draw a curve from left to right, going up and then back down. On the left side, we're going to step in and draw a short curve, going out and then down. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to round out the bottom edge of the shorts. So from the inside, curve down and then back up. Now we're going to tuck the shorts in underneath the coat. We want to let the coat overlap the shorts. So from here, we're just going to curve up and then in. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to tuck the legs in underneath the shorts. From the inside corner, we're going to step out, curve down towards the bottom. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to round out the bottom of the feet. So from the heel to the toe, we're going to curve down and then back up. Do the same thing on the right side. Now going back to the left side, I'm going to curve the top of the foot. So from the toe, we're going to curve up. I'm going to curve down, aiming towards the heel, but we're going to stop right about there. From the top of the foot, I want to tuck this leg in underneath the shorts. So we're going to leave a little overlap on the end here. Let's do the same thing on the right. Starting from the toe, we'll curve up, and we'll just pull that down. Now from the top corner of the shorts, we're going to step in, curve down towards the top of the foot. Now we're going to add some detail to the legs. We're going to start with the sole first. So we take this curve and just duplicate it right up above on both feet. Now I'm going to draw in the open toe. So at the top of the curve down towards the sole. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Now this point here is going to make up the little strap. So from here we're just going to angle down and in. And we'll draw a little circle for a button on the ends. Now we're going to draw in some open toes. So from the top of this curve, we're going to go out and then down. We're going to step over and draw that one more time. Let's do the same thing on the right. Now up here, about halfway down the leg, we draw a curve. From the outside, come down and then back up. Now we draw the lower part of the strap. From this corner, we curve down and then in. One last thing I want to do is add some flames around the body. So we're going to start with the upper parts of the arm first. So on top of the thumb, I'm going to start by drawing a curve, going out, in, and then back out. I'm going to curve around, so tapering it down. I'm going to curve in the opposite direction, going in. I'm going to draw a little swirl, almost like drawing a circle, going out. And then we'll pull this in behind the arm. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Starting at the top of the thumb, I'm going to start by curving in and then going out. Curve in, and kick it back out. Curve it down, just on top of the arm. Now we're going to curve inwards in the opposite direction. And then we'll draw a swirl, almost like a half circle. And then we'll pull this in behind the arm. We're going to draw a few little flame bits on the side here. So on the left, I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to curve down and out towards the left. From the top, I'm going to draw a little wave, curving out towards the right and then back in towards the left. Let's draw another one over here. Starting at the top, we're going to do almost like a backwards S. And from the top, we'll just connect the top and then the bottom with a curve. I'm going to add some more flames along the feet. So from the corner of the toe, curve out, in, and then out. We're going to hook this back, tapering it down. And we're going to do that again. So going in, out, and then we'll pull that in, and we'll curve this down and then in behind the leg. Let's do the same thing on the right. Starting from the toe, we'll go out, in, and then out. We're gonna taper that back in and down. I'm gonna do that again, going in, out, and then in. We'll swirl this back in behind the leg. I'll add a little flame bit on this side. So starting from the top, we're just gonna curve out toward the left, and then back in. From the top, we'll go in the opposite direction. Let's add one more down here. Curving out toward the left, back in, and then in the opposite direction. And that's pretty much it. There's our Naruto Sage of 6 paths mode. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you subscribe and send me your requests in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.